Yeah, you inspired him to do terrible things.
Yeah, you've inspired him all right. Inspired him to turn Hill Valley into a bunch of uptight dorks.
I wouldn't expect a delinquent like you to understand.
Okay, Your Honor. Starting to get a little concerned here.
There he is. Man, it took him a little longer than I thought it would. But he fixed it.
It worked! Ha ha!
It looks good as new.
Present, the next, I'm 6 months in the past.
It took him 6 months?
6 months? It took you 6 months to repair the time machine?
6 months, my family fortune, and a sketchy deal with a gang
Oh
of
no,
Liberty
not
nationals.
again.
It was all worth it for this moment.
Well, if we change the timeline, it won't matter.
Don't do this. You need help.
Oh, blow it out of your exhaust pipe,
Oh,
dear.
that's telling her.
Your patent divorce lawyers can't. Martin, how long have you been waiting for me?
Yeah.
A couple of minutes, maybe?
That's curious. I set the repair time circuits to arrive only a couple of seconds after I left.
That's not good.
Oh, well,
Something's wrong.
I'm sure there's no need for concern. It's probably just a minor miscalibration of the time
I
circuits.
don't think so. I think it's a little more than that.
What's this?
Clothes for our trip.
Oh yeah, 30's
We can't have you
clothes.
traipsing around 1931 in that ridiculous
Yeah, that's
outfit.
true.
Wait, our trip?
You didn't think I was going to let you erase the worst mistake of my life? without my help,
Oh,
did you?
yeah. Tell her right to her face. All right, let's head back to the 30s.
Please.
Try and fix this crazy timeline.
I'll ruin you in it.
Sorry, Edna, but you won't get that chance.
I run this town.
Too bad the town won't exist anymore. At least like that. Okay, let's go back to 1931. There's
Time
the
circuit
Hudson
set for
Valley.
August 26, 1931. You ready to go, Your Honor?
Call me.
Yeah. Here we go. Back to the 30s we go. Now this time let's make sure everything is completely fixed before we head back into the future. There's the theater with Frankenstein.
This is where I last saw him. You, teenage you. You were headed this way, arm in arm with Edna.
Ugh, luckily, my erstwhile wife was never the type to kiss on a first date. If we work fast and stay focused, we can see to it that our relationship never moves beyond the hand-holding stage. Well, will you look at that? The old town theater.
Huh. It's been many years since he's seen it, probably.
Uh-huh.
I haven't thought about this place in years.
Huh.
The missus made me tear it down back in '71.
Huh. Why am I
Said
not
the movies were
surprised?
corrupting the younger generation.
Of course you would say that.
It was all nonsense, of course. I spent countless evenings here in my youth, and it never turned me into a hoodlum.
Huh. Thank you,
Say,
Doc, for
remember
proving that that
public
doesn't
enemy?
corrupt you.
Why, you dirty rat, no good yellow-bellied stool. It never did manage to see Frankenstein, though.
Sounds like a good gangsta movie. Nah. See? We're back in the 30s. It's starting again. Yeah, that's why we're here.
That's what we're here for. We've got to get young you to see Frankenstein.
Right, of course. The film that was supposed to set off a chain reaction in my imagination, inspiring with a notion that would launch my scientific career.
You've still got no memory of what that notion was?
Oh. Hey, I'm walking here.
How
Yeah.
could I? It happened in the brain of a different Emmett Brown. An Emmett Brown now erased by the shifting sands of
Yeah,
time.
unfortunately, that's true.
Luckily for us, I do know something about my own brain, having lived in it for the past 70-plus
Huh.
years. Once we get my younger self re-inspired by that movie, nothing will distract him from his proper... Great Scott, will you look at that?
Huh.
The town square?
Yeah, for Marty, it's like,
just
what? I was just
remember
here.
it, only dirtier.
For him, it's been
the old
decades.
courthouse.
Come on now, Doc. You need to go inside and check it
Oh,
out.
no, he saw Emmett.
First rule of time travel, Doc. Never allow your other self to catch sight of you. It could cause reality
Paradox.
to collapse or something.
You mean?
Right behind you.
There
Don't
he is.
peek.
Coming out of the barber shop.
Go on. I'll let you know when you're gone.
wearing a white
and don't
tux.
forget,
You see
you're
that?
Carl Sagan,
The billions and billions guy?
the
Yeah,
suspected
the
arsonist.
Huh?
Just go with it.
All right. Let's try and convince Emmett. But why is he wearing that white suit?
Michael, you do show up at the oddest
Yeah, I
moments.
know.
Where have you been hiding?
I was in the dystopia you created.
Oh, you know,
Yeah,
here and there.
there.
You're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
You know, I never really got a chance to thank
Oh,
you.
don't.
well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kid on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna.
No.
It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked
That's
one
because
another.
you did.
Imagine.
That's because you did. Yeah, forget Edna.
Yeah, well, we make a lot of mistakes when we're not seeing straight. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these
Oh,
days.
come on.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
What?
the rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked a rocket car.
What?
More
What?
trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
Wait, social utility? What?
Social utility? Since when do you care about
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy
I'm sorry,
project.
the what?
the what?
It was Edna's idea, and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
Damn it, I'm a little confused
yeah.
here.
Could you clarify something? You've only had one. Wait, but it's only been one day.
What day is it?
Why, it's opening day.
What?
The opening day of the expo. Which reminds
It's
me,
supposed
I'd
to be
better skedaddle back to the
August.
lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck
It's
to pay.
October?
Catch you around, Corleone.
October 12th.
By the way, that's my birthday.
Doc?
October 12th. But it's supposed to be August. Oh man, you guys remember what Doc said about the time circuits? It's worse than we thought. We have got to let Doc know.
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Yeah.
We're 2 months late. The expo's about to start, and teenage you is already in over his head with Edna.
Oh man.
I always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That should have been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the
Yeah,
time
he's
circuits,
right.
And the
I
problem
knew it
appears
was.
to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Or worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being, I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed
Talk
half
to
of the couple.
Edna
Edna? Where can I find her?
Where do you think?
at the expo.
I'll drive. The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
We're gonna have to, but we still gotta fix it somehow. If we don't,